Running high in the studio.
No, why don't you stick it up yours, mate?
That your mum again? Football forecasting has been a dangerous business in the SPL so far this season. Today was very predictable. Celtic 4-0 winners against Dunfermline at East End Park. 2 for Zurawski, 1 for Nakamura, and John Hartson's 7th goal of the season after Mark Birchall had a penalty saved by Artur Boric. 1-0 down Dunfermline in 5 minutes. Good play from Zurawski. It's the best we've seen of him so far. And he beat Halliwell at the near post there. Celtic 1 ahead, 2 ahead on 10 minutes. And the goalkeeper will need a strong drink tonight to recover from that, I imagine. Set it up for John Hartson, 2-0 early on. Now, this was the moment in which Dunfermline could have got themselves back, given themselves a little hope. Birchall decked by Virgo, penalty. Took it himself, Mark Birchall. It wasn't the best. And it was saved by Artur Boric. Chance gone for the home team. Quick feet from Zurawski in the second half. Setting up Nakamura for his first Celtic goal, 3-0. And at that stage, that scoreline enough to put Celtic into second spot. Icing on the cake, Zurawski's second, 4-0 Celtic. Let's hear from the Celtic captain today, Stilian Petrov, with Scott Booth.
Stilian, today's result must come as a welcome one after last week.
Oh, it's a great result, especially after the defeat, you know, especially after the Rangers game. But we're glad with we moved the ball quicker. We tried to play quicker to try to get them tired, and we done that. And it was great to see Magic got his first 2 goals. Naka scored a goal as well, Johnny as well. And if we keep going that way, we can improve a lot of. And we have a lot of young players, and we try to work hard every day in the training. We know it's going to be hard, but nothing is impossible. You know, we've got all the fans behind us, and that's the most important thing.
That must be a really big plus for Zurawski and Nakamura to get their first goals today.
Oh, it's great. He's been working very hard in training. You know, he's been a little bit under pressure. You know, when he came here, a lot of people expect a lot from him. It's a big club, but I'm glad he done it today. He scored 2 great goals. You know, he make one for Naka, and he played very well, and he deserves to be man of the match.
And for you today, the winning captain as well, even if it's just borrowed for a little while.
Yeah, it's a great honour, not just for me, for anybody who wear that captaincy hairband. You know, it's a great honour, and we've got captain Neil Lennon, and we'll wait for him to come back in the team, and Tom as well in City.
I can't let you go without asking you a question about speculation over your future at Celtic. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, you know, I still have another 2 years to go, so the manager make it clear what's going to happen, and that's not in my mind. My mind is to improve myself, to improve the team, and try to win the league here.
Are you ambitious in that way? Would you like to play at some stage in the Premiership?
Well, obviously everybody got ambition to play in Spain, in England, and I know one day that day will come. When it's going to be, you never know.
You don't foresee that in the short term?
I don't think so.
Well, Magic Zurawski was the man of the match today. I hope that you can take the champagne to him and maybe share it with him.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Well done, mate.
No problem.
Celtic go second in the SPL, courtesy of that one, second on goal difference, and that shunts Rangers down to 5th spot in the table, and they would go to 6th if Inverness can beat Dundee United at Tannadice this afternoon. That was a 3 o'clock kick-off, half-time there, and no goals so far. Craig Burley and the former Dunfermline midfielder Ian McCall are with me in the studio. Craig, how impressed were you with Celtic?
I didn't think they were brilliant today. I thought they were a lot better in the second half. They had to do the job, they did. At the end of the day, they haven't been getting results, they're getting a lot of criticism, so it's about getting the job done. They did that today. I thought they were given a helping hand, I have to say, with some of the comedy defending from Dunfermline. But Zurawski was better from him. Hartson got a gift of a goal. Nakamura was a little quiet but got his goal and got better in the second half, and I just thought Dunfermline laid down for them, so it was a great result in terms of taking a bit of pressure off, but I didn't think there was a great test for them today.
Did Dunfermline, Ian, mix it enough?
Well, I think the worry for Jim Leishman is his experienced players are at the back, and I don't think any of them performed very well. And second half, Celtic were coasting, managed to move the ball about the pitch, and Dunfermline couldn't get close to them. We said, watching the game with 10 minutes to go, there was nobody getting close to going to a kick at somebody. Dunfermline only had 1 player booked. I think that says it all.
Well, it looked fairly innocuous at the time when Gary Mason was injured here in the first half. A slap from John Hartson, but the news is much more serious. There's the contact. Well, was there malice there, firstly, Craig, from Hartson?
I don't think there was malice. I just think he's put his hand up to... it did look innocuous, I have to say, and it was right in front of our studio here, and that angle doesn't do John Hartson any favours. I mean, he is one for arms flailing about, and he constantly gets in trouble for it. But I have to say, from that angle, it certainly looked worse than it did. And the referee was right in the spot when it happened, and he didn't give a free kick. But I don't think that angle does John any favours, and it certainly didn't do Gary Mason any favours.
There was no malice in it, but John Hartson moved his hand towards his face. That's one thing for certain.
And he did a strapping on his left hand, didn't he, in the second half, John Hartson?
He must have hurt it in the boy's cheekbone.
I mean, it's part of his game, isn't it, John? I mean, when you see him backing into players, he lifts his arms up, and you know, sometimes he gets booked for it, sometimes he doesn't. A lot of people complain that he's over physical, but that's the way he plays. Whether he intended to do that, I don't know. But certainly there's only one guy that's came off worse, and that's Gary Mason, who's going to be out now for, we believe, up to about 6 weeks. Yeah,
the suspicion when Gary Mason was taken off was that it was a cracked cheekbone. It is a fracture. That has been confirmed after his visit to the hospital, and as Craig says, could be out for 6 weeks. And it does happen to teams when they're down there in it's early on in the season, but relegation land, if you like. They can't afford to lose any more players, but they're going to have to.
Certainly not in Dunfermline's situation.
And Scott Thompson taken off in the second half as well.
Yeah, and Greg Shields as well have lost. And you can't afford to give away goals like they did. You can't afford to defend like that. And you know, the decisions when you get a penalty kick, you've got to stick it in the net. When things are going against you, you've got to take your guilt-edged chances.
Was there a bit more from Celtic in terms of midfield to front, Craig? And against that, will Gordon Strachan still be seeing some problems in defence?
Well, I'm sure he wants to shore up, you know, at the bottom line. They've kept a clean sheet, but you know, there was no test. I mean, Tarachowski up front. I mean, Baldy smashed him in the first half, and what was his retort to that? I mean, he lay down. I mean, when did we see him, you know, really been physical against Baldy? He's a big lad. He didn't use his weight. He didn't get in about Baldy. He let him be bullied, and I just think that was the whole general demeanour of Dunfermline's performance. Certainly in the second half, they lay down a little bit. Celtic were just popping passes around at will. As Ian said, there was hardly a challenge. And from a Dunfermline point of view, you don't want to see that. From Celtic point of view, job done. Not great, not a big test, but job done today.
A Polish striker in each team, and well, I think you could see today what Maciej Zurawski's first Celtic goal did for him in terms of where his performance went from here after a pretty impressive take on this opening goal.
Yeah, I mean, he does very well. I think the Dunfermline defender sold herself and let him come inside far too easy, but certainly the goal is not at fault here. It's an excellent strike into the bottom corner. You know, they say goalies shouldn't be beating the near post, but with a shot of that power from that angle, you know, it was a terrific goal, and he went on to have a really accomplished game. It's
the most obvious evidence, Craig, we've seen so far for Gordon Strachan to have outlaid 2 million or so.
Yeah, it was a great start for him, and I'm sure that just boosted his confidence. But you know, we didn't say that the lad's not get any talent. What we said was we're not seeing it, and we haven't seen it in the games up to now.
He has scored heavily in the Polish league.
Well, I know, but he's not in Poland now, he's in Scotland, and what the difference between the two leagues, I don't know. I don't travel to Poland much these days.
Well, we have plans for you though.
Yeah, but no, you know, the bottom line is whatever he's did in Poland, gone. International level, gone. You know what it's like when you come to Scotland, you're in Glasgow at the big club, you have to produce, and he hasn't been doing it. But I thought it was more like him today. I thought he looked lively. I just think he lacks a bit of confidence. When he turns and runs at players, he looks good. He just wasn't doing it often enough, but we've seen a really a lot better performance from him today.
Bryn Halliwell probably wished he was in Poland when this happened on 10 minutes. A real blunder from the goalkeeper. And against Celtic or Rangers, you don't want to gift them a goal like this.
That's one of the things you just can't do, and it tends to happen when you're down there fighting, and you know, Dunfermline look as if they may have a long season in front of them.
And also, had it not taken the deflection off Scott Wilson, it wouldn't have gone straight to John Hartson.
Yeah, well, I was talking to you about it at half time, and I thought maybe he was trying to pass the ball out of defence, but it wasn't. It was a missed kick. And the deflection went straight to John Hartson. He put it in the net, but he's got to put it in the net. An easy chance.
Yeah, there's only one goalkeeper in the league, in my opinion, at the moment, that's any good with their feet, and that's Vatahus at Rangers. Now, if a goalkeeper's not comfy and that wasn't his good foot, it was his right foot, his swinger, then he shouldn't be trying to aim it down there or back into the middle, into the stand here, because nobody's going to score for there. It was a howler, really embarrassing mistake for him, and at that point in the game, it was almost dead and buried. Jim Leishman must have wanted to throttle him at that point.
Maybe he did. That hurt Dunfermline, so did this. Penalty chance for them to get back into the game. Mark Birchall decked by Adam Virgo, and then Birchall missed the kick.
Yeah, it was a daft challenge by Adam Virgo, and it's a penalty of a Stonewall variety. A lot of times you don't get them in Scotland.
Is it a miss or is it a save?
Well, it's a save. I think it's a poor penalty. I said before, I don't understand why Lee Makel didn't take it, but I think it's got to be put down as both. It's a poor penalty, but equally it's a good save low down his left.
Quite impressed with him though, Rob Boric, the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You know, he looks looks a decent signing. I know he's only on loan, but he looks big and strong. He likes to come out and command his area.
It's that word presence, isn't it?
Yeah, he's obviously a good shot stopper. He's going to give the centre halves confidence. Maybe they're not quite giving him as much confidence as he was like, but a clean sheet for him. That's what every goalkeeper goes into a game looking for, and I've been quite impressed with him in the games I've seen him so far.
I think it's probably fair to say the jury is still out on Shinzuki Nakamura. He wasn't very much in evidence in the Old Firm game last weekend, and well, he had a shot at goal in the first half from Maciej Zurawski's cutback, which was straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
but as the second half wore on, he did show more, but then maybe it's easy to show more when you're 3-4 up.
Well, he played all right against Falkirk, and he played reasonably well today in the second half. But I mean, it's Dunfermline, it's teams in the bottom half of the league. So against Rangers in the Old Firm game, I thought he was very, very poor. But nevertheless, he needs still time to settle into this side as well.
I don't think anything will make up for Bryn Halliwell for that first half blunder. But this was certainly a good bit of goalkeeping, a one-handed stop from John Hartson.
Yeah, it was good save. Craig Beattie, who was positive all day, getting up and down that flank, cuts in well, and it's a good lay back. And actually, when you see it in the replay, he makes a really good save low down his left, gets a full hand on it. Luckily, it doesn't fault the Celtic player, but a good save, but certainly doesn't make up for his howl in the first half.
I think Dunfermline are making efforts to sign Alan McGregor from Rangers, and you've got to understand, without being too hard on Bryn Halliwell, that they need a goalkeeper who's going to win them points rather than lose them points.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're thinking about signing Alan McGregor, it's not because of the mistake Halliwell made today, because it was obviously in Jim Leishman's mind before that. So it's a very, very important position. If you don't get your goalkeeper right, then you're going to suffer. If he makes mistakes like that, he did today, and it was a really bad one early in the first half, and it cost his team really any chance again, because at 1-0 they can still get back into the game, then it's going to cause you problems. Centre half position is important, and I think goalkeeper is as important, if not more.
Zurawski scored his first Celtic goals. Nakamura got off the mark as well, and it was quick feet from the pole down the left-hand side which set this one up.
It was, but again, I think Craig agrees here that you've got to question the defending. If you are going to go in like that, you've got to take everything and take a booking. He's taking himself right out of the game there. A great cutback, and it was a marvellously composed finish from Nakamura, and I think that gave him confidence, just as Zurawski's goal gave him confidence. Good skill, good cutback, and a good finish.
I'm looking to see a bit more from him, and but whilst looking at the positive from Celtic, and Zurawski had a much better game today, and he shows good composure. You just felt at times Dunfermline played into their hands, making stupid challenges, making silly mistakes, and against decent players you're going to get punished, and that's what happened to them today.
When Paul Lawson came on for Celtic, it was the 21st player used already this season by Gordon Strachan. I guess there's two sides to that one. One is very little continuity for Celtic so far, but also maybe there's more of an open door into the first team for the youngsters than there was when you see Maloney, Beattie, McManus all featuring.
Well, we say that, but I think because over a number of years they were consistently good, Celtic, and when you are winning football matches, it's harder to bring young players in the team. But now they've kind of dodgy start, and Maloney and Beattie have come in and done very well, and you're seeing them getting a chance now. And I've seen the young lad Lawson play in under 21s reserves, and he's a decent player. Whether he's got the size and the stature to play regular yet, I don't know, but he certainly moves the ball about the pitch well.
Zurawski could have had a hat-trick, should have had a hat-trick, as we'll see shortly, but this was an effort, a turn and shot inside the box. It showed he's got good balance, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously got something, as I say. He wasn't quite producing it. It's very early in the season, but I mean, it's good technique here. Spins, knows what he wants to do before the ball gets to him. He's going to take it in, he's going to shield it, and he's looking for a spin. It's tight, the defender's there, dive in a bit. Once he makes the turn, he's got to be disappointed with himself that he doesn't stick it in the back of the net, but nevertheless, it didn't spoil an afternoon for him. He's got off to a good start today, silence a few critics maybe with his performance and with his goals, and give his own game a bit of confidence for the rest of the season.
I think we judge players far too quickly in this country, particularly if you play for Celtic and Rangers. If you come in here and you don't have an immediate impact, then...
You mean the fact it's still August?
Exactly, it's not even August, I know, goodness me, but you do get judged far too quickly, and you've got to make an immediate impact that takes some players a while to
But managers don't have time, I mean...
Well, I know,
you know that.
They don't.
And Gordon Strachan's now in the job, and you know what the fans are like. They want success, they want it now, and as soon as somebody signs, it's not, oh, we haven't got 6 games or 10 games to settle in. I want to see what this guy can do.
That's absolutely right, but they are coming from, not just coming from a different, they're coming from a completely different style of football. You know, the Japanese lad as well, and Zurawski, the game's totally different where they play, and you know, it's going to take a wee while. They've definitely got ability, there's no doubt about that.
When I say Zurawski should have had a hat-trick, it's for this reason. The header was chalked off for offside, didn't look at Craig.
No, it wasn't, and it's going to be disappointing for the lad because he gets in a good position here. Can't say the same about the goalkeeper because he gets caught under the ball. Assistant referee gives offside. You can see here as the ball's been kicked, crossed in, he's level, he's onside, and he's got to be disappointed with that. But the most important thing is that he's getting in the positions as he did today, and it was a good finish from him. It should have been a hat-trick for him today, but the officials once again have let him down. But it was a close one. But again, he's in there, you know, to get in there to miss it or score it. He doesn't know what the official's going to do, and it was unfortunate for him.
The thing is, if that's 0-0 though, I mean, that's a, I can say this now, I'm not a manager, that's an awful decision. It's a terrible decision, it's robbed that guy of a hat-trick. If it had been 0-0 at the time, it would have been an important goal. You know, it's a poor decision.
Are you not called up to the SFA now?
No, they can't get me now until I get back in the game.
You've been there enough anyway.
Exactly.
Right, well, the Polish striker at the other end of the pitch for Dunfermline, well, I think we've agreed, didn't really contribute enough in terms of using his physique or indeed finding the net. He hasn't done so far, and foiled here by his fellow countryman.
Does okay here actually getting in, he doesn't do too bad, but you know, Boric looks quite solid in the goal, he stands up well. He does okay. I just thought he was poor today, Tarachowski. The first time I've seen him live, and I just thought he was bullied. It's the one chance he had in the game. He was unfortunate, keeper makes a good save, but to be honest, his general performance I thought was poor. I didn't think him and Butchell linked up particularly well. The service wasn't great, but he let, I mean, we know Baldy's a big lad, but so's he, and he let himself be bullied today, and that's not what Jim Leishman's going to be looking for. He has to look for somebody that's going to lead the line like he had with Brewster and Crawford. Until he finds that, goals are going to be hard to come by.
Dunfermline will tonight be examining their own contribution to this result today. Scott Thompson's mistake helped Zurawski to his second of the match.
Well, it was Scott Thompson that was caught out in the wider area as well for the previous goal. And a poor slip, as I said. They've got 3 experienced centre backs there, and there seems to be no communication today. You know, I don't know about other games. No communication, and a nice finish, an easy finish. I thought the goalie, don't want to be too hard on him after making that error, kind of made his mind up for him. But poor defender.
And that was it. 4-0 Celtic and Dunfermline. It's a bit early on in the season, but it looks as if it could be a tough one for them, and they may well be again battling for survival. The manager, Jim Leishman, is live now with Scott Booth.
Jim, was it all over inside 10 minutes today?
Oh, well, you know, you can't give any role for them 2 goals at the start and expect to win the game. And unfortunately we did that, you know, and to be fair, we started really bright. You know, we were keeping the ball, and I think we had 2 or 3 corners early on before they scored the first goal. I think that was that was their first attack. But that's why they're getting paid so much dough.
But after 2-0, your players dug in. But is that just the way things have been going this season?
Yeah, you know, the players are giving us everything, eh? You know, we had more crosses in, we created more chances.
Of course, a missed penalty as well.
And Mark unfortunately missed the penalty. You know, that might have gave us an opportunity to get back at Celtic just before half time. But you can't. You know, we've lost four goals. The players, the boys, and our defence have been solid this year. You know, they've really worked together and worked hard, and you know, they're disappointed that they've given away the goals like they gave them away.
Defence was disappointed today, but also you're still struggling to get goals for yourselves.
I thought Bartosz was unfortunate, and as I say, a penalty. You would hope that you've got a 90% chance of scoring a penalty, and it would something headed off the line at the end, and one or two blocks. So you know, creating the chances against Celtic, you know, there's so many teams that will create as many chances as we did today, and as I said, get as many and good crosses. It wasn't just into the box, the goalie picked them up. We put them under pressure.
And more injuries, Gary Mason. If it rains, it pours for you, doesn't it?
Well, that sums it up, you know, Scott Morrison. But Gary's, it looks like he's got, or he might have a cracked cheekbone. That's not been confirmed yet. The specialist, I'll see him tomorrow. He'll get the scans, etc. But the first impression is a cracked cheekbone, and possibly 5 to 6 weeks.
Of course, for you, it's really important now to start building some sort of momentum. You don't want to be using that get out of jail card again, do you?
No, it's you know, we're in a transition period, Scott. You know, the changes we've had. What, 4 or 5 players left this season, and Davy last year had a lot of players that had left. So we're in a rebuilding situation. You know, there'll be more players coming in next week. We discussed that before the programme, and we've just got to gel them together. But you know, the spirit in the camp's brilliant. The players' attitude and their commitment's brilliant. We just keep working, we'll create our own luck in the future, and if they show the same commitment, I'll not be disappointed.
Jim, thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Jim.
Half an hour left at Tannadice in the 3 o'clock kick-off. Still goalless between Dundee United and Inverness Cally Thistle, but Craig Brewster's team have had the ball in the net. Craig Dargo scored, allegedly, and then it was disallowed for offside. And of course, if Inverness win that one, they move up, and Rangers move another place down to 6th position in the SPL. An awkward game for Dundee United on the back of their European exit. Now back with this game, 2 goals for Maciej Zurawski in Celtic's 4-0 win here against Dunfermline. And Gordon Strachan will be hoping that Hartson and Zurawski partnership with Craig Beattie thrown into the mix as well will continue to blossom, and we've certainly seen much more than we have so far from the Polish striker.
Well, he certainly, like Craig says, I think when he can face opponents up and get at them, he looks a dangerous player, and I think he does a lot of his work in the wider areas, which maybe suits John Hartson, who stays central. And whether I don't know if he's going to score a lot of goals, but he looks like certainly can make goals as well. But today he was terrific, and if he can keep that up, Gordon will be happy.
The problem was, Ian, he was doing neither, wasn't he, in the start of the season? And but he's proven today that he is capable, and he was unfortunate here when he was given offside and he wasn't. But it'll be interesting to see when everybody's fit how Gordon Strachan sees it, whether he sees him playing right up there alongside John Hartson, or whether he sees him just playing off with John Hartson. So
he looks like that type of player, doesn't he? The type that plays off. So maybe they'll put another striker beside Hartson and play him off a little bit.
And what you want, Craig, of course, is strikers who can do different things. You want that blend to be right up front. You've got Beattie's rumbustious style, Hartson's power play and goal touch, and Zurawski, his quick feet, a bit of pace, works around the main striker. Yeah,
that's all very well, isn't it? But what you want is your 2 strikers to bang 30 goals in a season, or you want a Henrik Larsson who's getting you, what did he get once? He had 47, 50. You know, at the end of the day, that just gets you victories. It doesn't matter how bad you are at the back at times. You know, if you've got guys banging in the goals, then you're going to take the pressure off yourself, and he needs that. Can't rely on John Hartson all the time. Although John scored today, he'll admit it was a bit of a gift from the goalkeeper. But it was important from Zurawski and for Gordon Strachan, who paid over a couple of £1 million from him, that he started to show what a lot of people have been waiting for from him.
Maciej Zurawski was our man of the match here at East End Park, and the winner of the competition this weekend, Brian Jaffrey from Alloa, who wins a signed Zurawski shirt. Let's hear from the Celtic manager, Gordon Strachan. What did he think of that? He's with Scott.
Gordon, congratulations, 4-0 today. Is that just what you wanted today, virtually wrapped up within 10 minutes?
Well, we wanted the goals. We're fortunate the way we got them. The first one, we worked well for it. We've been doing a lot of work this week and how we wanted to attack. The second one was fortunate, obviously, but John still got to finish it. It was a cool finish because some people panic in that position. So that was good. Chances made, excellent. Crosses allowed, poor. So we'll have to work at that. We can't allow Bobo Balde and Mick to deal with everything that's thrown in. And to be fair, if I was a centre half, I'd be complaining that I had to header everything. If one of them's got a cut down the head, and I would make sure that the balls wouldn't get crossed in such a regular fashion.
Were you also a little bit disappointed not to dominate immediately after going 2-0 up?
Well, I think maybe from last week, and the game was such a big game today, to go 2-0 up kind of spooked the boys a bit. But we were trying something different, and Adam played in the middle of the park. We never moved the ball about as well as we normally can, because we had a centre half in the middle of the park and a striker, so it was a bit disjointed there. But I thought the biggest problem we had was actually restarts. We never got ourselves in like decent shape to restart, and whether it be goal kicks, throw-ins, free kicks, especially goal kicks, and they got a lot of knockdowns and played from there. But they were good. They were good. They were, speaking to Jim, they were 10 times better than they were on Tuesday night, and they won.
You said that Zurawski's going to be a great player for Celtic. Was there 1 or 2 signs of that today?
Oh, well, there's a couple of goals, made a goal, and a lot of touches. As I'm saying, I don't think he's just a good player. I think he's going to be a great player, but we have to give him the platform that his goals will win us games. But I thought we put the game at risk today.
Boric, also, the form of him must be reassuring for you in a clean sheet today.
Yeah, that was good. And him and Baldy really kept us in it, kept it a clean sheet, to be honest with you. So we don't really want to be relying on individuals. I'd rather rely on the team to stop chances.
You're a little happier now also looking at the league table?
Yeah. I've not got there, have you?
Up in second place.
That's fine. It's been a hard week after last Saturday. It's been physically and mentally it's been hard for the club and myself. I mean, I'd like to see a few games this week, so it was nice to finish the game the week with 4 goals, and it could have been more, to be honest with you.
I think also a real plus was Stilly and Petrov handling the pressure of the whole situation and the speculation surrounding him.
Yeah, but he loves being here, and as I said, that if I try to get the player I would the type of player I like at this club, it's him. The way he plays the game, the way he conducts himself, the way he trains, and I think